My name is Ashley, and this is My Sweet Perspective, where I give my take on all things TV and movie related. And listen, we are back to talk about season 2, House of the Dragon, and I could not be more excited. Do you hear me? I couldn't be more excited. All right. Because last night's episode gave me everything that I needed, but I'm not going to give too much right now because I'm not here alone. I am joined by two beautiful women, okay, who are both parts of the Horror and Hooch podcast, okay? And I want to give them the opportunity to introduce themselves, and we will get right into the episode. Ms. D. Ray, I am starting with you. Let the people know who you are and let us know about Horror and Hooch.
Hey everybody, I am Ms. D. Ray. I am half of Horror and Hooch. And I am the in-house mixologist for horror. I am the hooch in Horror and Hooch. And we love to talk about all things horror, movies, television, books, and we like to enjoy a cocktail anytime we're talking. So that is my job. I bring the spirits to all the horror. And then I am joined by my counterparts.
And look, since we got both of us, had to get our spirits in here. We had to bring the hooch to you. So yes, Absolutely. You got both of us. We're here to discuss, and we got our drinks in hand.
Perfect. And let's just see who's here real quick. We got my good sis, Monique 69 Ways Johnson. Y'all follow her as well because she be covering all the things as well. We appreciate you being here, sis. But yeah, and welcome Kay and welcome Ms. D. Ray. I am so excited to have y'all here and I cannot wait to get into this episode. So without further ado, honey, let us start the slide show. And I just need to know off the bat because I need to know who I'm up here with. I need to know who I'm dealing with on tonight. And I need to know, if we could have a greater bond, moving forward in the future. So all must choose. And I just need to know from you, Ms. D. Ray, are you team green or team black?
I'm a team black. I'm definitely team black.
Okay. That's all I needed to hear. That's what
we gotta have the true roots of what it is. I'm black all the way.
And Kay, I already know this answer before the people, so the people know.
Y'all already know I'm team black. I'm in support of Rhaenyra. I'm here to ride for her. Wherever she do, I'm here. I'm in support. We stand behind Rhaenyra. Just go around.
That's it.
Period. That's my sentiments exactly. Put it in the chat. Drop it and let us know, are you team black or team green? Because listen, Rhaenyra is the rightful heir. All right. And anybody else is a usurper, a thief, and a liar. Do you hear me? That's at least how I feel about it. But let's get into overall thoughts. I want to know, even we can talk about last season as well, but as far as House of the Dragon, what are your overall thoughts? And specifically, what did you think about the premiere last night? I'm going to start with you, Ms. D. Ray. What are your overall thoughts? How did you feel about how everything went down?
So I'm always love a good dragon show. I was team Game of Thrones. I'm team House of Dragon. I will say this to me started off a little crawlish. We had to reset the stage, but overall, I feel like it's going to be a good season. I feel like the story is going to take flight when we get into maybe episode 2 or 3. I feel like it's a lot of shady dealings about to go on. And I really think my new favorite character, and y'all can hate me for this, but Helena finna be one of my favorites because she is the me sitting in the corner, giving the tea when no one's listening. So I'm paying attention to her this season, but I'm enjoying it so far. I think we're going to do good with this.
Because listen, I stand Helena, and I said, listen, y'all can think she cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs if you want to, but my good sis can see. Do you hear what I'm saying? She can see. She's got that intuition. She might be on the spectrum, but she can see what's going on. Hey, how about you? Overall thoughts?
I think we're in for it. I know they don't, the Game of Thrones is a whole lot of world building. So we have a whole lot of world building, a whole lot of catching up to do. But I always think that it sets us up for something really good. So I'm expecting a lot of good things to happen. Like we know the end result of how we're gonna go. So I'm ready to get there. But I know they're gonna bring it. I have hope that this season is gonna bring us a lot of action.
Right.
I believe that as well. And honestly, I will say this because I was a Game of Thrones aficionado, if I do say so myself, read the books. I was a super fan, right? And so when this came out, I will say that first season, the first couple episodes threw me for a loop. I couldn't get over young Rhaenyra and Uncle Damon. That was throwing me for the imagery. I was grossed out. Okay. I can be honest with you. But by episode 3 or 4, and I realized it during my rewatch this weekend, this was really a great show. I mean, because you're thinking about we're 200 years prior to the events of the Game of Thrones. Mm-hmm. And so we're meeting now families that are extinct. They're no longer present anymore. And they have to endear characters to us. They also have to make us hate characters. But overall thoughts after finishing that, I agree with you. Probably for me, the last 10 minutes of last night's episode is what gave me the shock and thrill. But I will say my heart did get warm in certain places, and we'll talk about it as we go. But honey, let's see what the people are talking about. So, hey, Mina Ruth, welcome. Thank you for being here. Listen, my good sis says Team Black. Listen, all day. Honey Ray says Team Black, period. Kamisha says Team Black. Listen, Honey Ray, definitely clairvoyant. Monique says same. Helena is cool. Absolutely. Hey, CT. Hey, Arnetta. Forgive me, honey. Hey, the Equalizer. Welcome. You gotta go and watch it. It's worth it's worth the time investment. So Episode 1 synopsis, A Son for a Son. Season 2 picks up pretty much a couple days after the events of season 1, which set up the rest of the series. The most important thing is to remember that King Viserys Targaryen is gone. Okay, his face fell apart, missing an eye, crumbled, he disintegrated. Okay, he's gone. His council conspired to place his son Aegon on the Iron Throne instead of the king's chosen heir, and his daughter Rhaenyra, Alicent Hightower, Rhaenyra's former bestie, child, that was a lie, believes that Viserys spoke Aegon's name right before he died. Now, let me be very clear about this for anyone who's confused, for anyone who might come and watch the replay, and put that in the chat if y'all come back and watch the replay later on in the comment section. But listen, she knew that wasn't about her raggedy son. She knew
she was hopeful.
She knew. And see, let me shout out C, who's in the chat, who was Team Green. Since go ahead, C. Go ahead, rep for Team Green.
Not a Team Green.
Yeah, no, she knew. She knew that wasn't her raggedy son. She knew couldn't be. He out there fighting kids like they're dogs or chickens. Okay, so anyway,
they got all these little illegitimate children running around that they don't want to talk about.
Joffrey, that was the original Joffrey girl.
So she interpreted his final breath to mean that he wished for Aegon to ascend the Iron Throne instead of Rhaenyra. Whether that was right or wrong, she would secure her family's legacy, escaping to Dragonstone. Rhaenyra essentially has to build an army and fight back, right? So that's the setup for episode 1. Just so y'all know, C is like,
right, bang bang, green gang. I can't do it with y'all.
Friend, you had a couple people see in the comment section on Insta, and they are Team Green. I'll never understand it. But alas, these are some of our main characters. We have Alicent, who we know was the late King Viserys's wife, also Rhaenyra's childhood bestie, but not really. We have Rhaenys, who is quickly becoming one of my favorite characters, who is the cousin of the Targaryens that we know, right? She was actually the queen that never was, which is kind of a shock every time I hear that. I'm like, they played my good sis, but she's an amazing dragon rider. She's not playing any games, and her character is played by the Eve Best. Okay. Then we have Aegon, played by Tom Glencarney, who is the sitting king now. And y'all, he looks sick all the time to me. I said, is he doing the is there is is there dope back then? Because why are his eyes always red, puffy, and bloodshot?
He
Okay.
reminds me of Pigpen.
Foolishness. It's something wrong with the baby. We just don't know what yet. But it's definitely something wrong. And his daddy knew it too.
Oh my gosh, he did. He did. That's why he could never be. Okay. And then we have Rhaenyra, played by Emma D'Arcy. Listen. And this is the one to watch, okay? She is coming off of everything, but we'll get into her in detail. But she is the rightful heir and queen, okay, of the Seven Kings, should be, right? And then we have Aemon. Now, again, I'm Team Black all day, but I like Aemon. But it's probably only because I feel like he's a mini me of Daemon, and I like Daemon as well. I know these are villains, y'all. But it's about a person who can just stand on big business, good or bad, right or wrong. Listen, I just do. So Aemond is the younger son, right, of the late King Viserys. No lands, no titles, basically. Unless something happens to his older brother, he's not sitting on anybody's throne, okay? But he's a true believer, is what they'd have us believe. And then final, we have Daemon, aka Unkbend or Uncle Husband, played by the Matt Smith. Who is married to his niece Rhaenyra. Yeah. I mean, and these are only a few of the characters, y'all. I just wanted to kind of briefly talk about them before, we get off into this episode. Anything y'all want to say about any of these people? I saw y'all's faces when I said I liked Aemon and Daemon.
I'm here for Daemon. Okay, in the very beginning of House of Dragon, I wasn't. I was just like, no, I don't like him. But then because he was a shit starter. But you know what? When it's time to ride, he ride out. When they was battling with the crab feeder, and he showed out then, so I was just like, he might be all right with me.
He had ulterior motives, but you're right. He showed out.
Yeah.
I love hate Daemon. Because he was that real one in that courthouse. I mean, not the courthouse, but the trial in season 1 when Buddy started yelling about them bastard children, and he was like, "I got it. Don't worry about his tongue. He can keep it." That's when I felt him. But then Aemon just get on my nerves, and he deserved to lose that eye because you shouldn't have called them baby bastards and thought they weren't gonna do that.
They were though. They were. They were. He didn't have to say it. He didn't.
He didn't have to say that out loud.
Aemon is a little monster. But what I talk about, and I talked about this in my recap a little bit, the thing I'm waiting for in House of the Dragon that we got a ton of in Game of Thrones is one of those diabolical villains. I need a Joffrey, okay? I need a I need a Bolton. Do you hear me? I need kind of one of them. And I don't feel like any of these characters have it in them deep like that. You know what I'm saying? Like Daemon, but that just kind of like make you really, really hate them. Other than Alicent, I don't know who else gives those vibes. You thinking on?
I think Aegon or Aemon might after this first episode, and they went off the baby. I think one of them gonna flip on us. I really think that was maybe what we needed for them to get that little extra push.
Yeah, because they need an edge. I think Game of Thrones had us, with some villains, honey, with some villains. Now, let's get it right here. The North remembers. Now, if I can be honest with you, this gave me all the feels because if you remember, we started in the North in Game of Thrones and we started with the Starks, right? And so I was like, this is so reminiscent. Like I miss the first time I watched Game of Thrones. And so we're really seeing where Ned and them all descended from. And it felt like I was listening. It felt like I was listening to Jon Snow talking up there, and it really gave me the vibes. I'm gonna start with you, Ms. D-Ray. What did you think of this scene with Jacaerys up there as an envoy, basically, to recruit some men from the wall?
I think it was an amazing opening scene for this season to reach back to, like you said, the roots of the start with the Starks, being in the North, being at the wall, and kind of getting that reminiscent history of this is what we do. And I thought it was great also that they were already, as many years before the story they were already telling you winter is coming. They were already preparing for what we
Come
later
on.
know happens in Game of Thrones. So that was like you said, it was a little bit of the feels for me. I was like, oh, that ain't that ain't no Ned, but Kragon, we'll take you. So I enjoyed that scene a lot. I did. Um, and it was good to know that he was gonna send them some help too, because
Yeah.
I was gonna
Mm-hmm.
cry if he had said no.
Listen, he said, I'll send you the gray heads. I'll send you the
Right.
old men. But they
And
fight
I
because they
love
from
that
the
he called
north.
them graves. What's he the graves?
Okay, what did you think?
I love seeing them getting this nice snow scene, and I always love the wardrobe for the people in the north, and I even like that they had the little nod to, I mean, we trying to keep out the wildlings and in the harsh snow, but I mean it's more dangerous stuff out there, so this wall ain't here for just for nothing. And I'm glad that they kind of threw that out there, because at this point only like Rhaenyra really knows the story about the White Walkers, but it's good to see that the North knows.
Yeah, the North gonna know. He said, my ancestors ain't built this wall for nothing.
Mhm.
Now, listen.
Right.
He said, a dragon came and turned around and said, I'm not going any further. And I said, well, that's deep.
Correct.
That's how you know something's beyond the wall. Hey, Lawrence Report. Welcome. Team Black, we here, period. Lord, Raggedy Sons. That's a hard statement. It is Equalizer, but to me, it's true. And I listen, before I take it back, I'll add more to it. Amen is giving fanfic Draco Malfoy. You
Okay,
petty.
Harry Potter, come through.
You petty, see. Hey, Tamika's Den. Welcome, welcome, welcome. But I listen, I like the diversity. I like the diversity. Be team green if you want to. I still, someone's going to have to help me understand it. Hey Jay, thank you for stopping by, sis. Listen, he had the Jon Snow accent all the way down. Okay. Jasmine says, yes, the North remembers, and they do. And they do.
Mhm.
Arinetta says, Joffrey was a psychopath with no sense. Damon is a psychopath with some sense. No, you got
Oh,
it, friend.
that's the thin line there. You can be crazy, but you gotta know what you're doing.
Mhm.
Okay. Equalizer says the fifth wall. Thank Lady Struggle. She always recommends the best period. Okay. Now let's see, honey. So after the North, the envoy is sent. Um, child, listen. This is Damon's problem. And this is why I like Rainey's, because she was like, listen, Damon, you don't run me. I run this. I'm tired. Listen, we didn't did the blockade for your wife. Me and my dragon, we gonna go to sleep. And he said, I command you, okay, to get up. And she said, only if you were king, buddy.
That's
If
the
only.
best one line in the show.
If only. Miss D Ray, I'm gonna bring it to you. What did you think of their interaction? Who did Damon think he was?
The
The
same
king.
person he thought he was the whole time. He been thinking he read this stuff since season one. That's why he gets on my nerves. He's a bully. But Rhaenys checked him because baby, that was the best one liner. That if you were king, sir. It's a command if you have some authority. So I appreciate that quick check and walk back in the building because go on about your business, young man. But
Period.
he's on my
Period.
nerves.
No, David is. Oh, yeah, we're gonna get all into him. Okay, Kay, what'd you think of this interaction?
Rennie said her and her dragon tired. They said, doing nothing else. She said, we tired. We need to rest. I ain't doing none of that. She literally was giving Auntie energy, like, play with somebody else, not me. I'm gonna go sit down. And
Period.
that's it. And he was literally looking at her like, so you really just not gonna like listen to me and do what I said to do? And she gives like two F's about his, authority that he thinks he has. Not over me.
Yeah, she's not a game. Listen, she said, "You got a dragon, bruh. I got a dragon too." Now, this one was interesting because now we are introduced to a brand new character. This young man is Alan of Hull, a young sailor who saved the sea snake's life in the Battle of the Stepstones. So, if you don't remember what happened to the sea snake, Corlys Valerian, right? He was down bad, honey. We didn't think he was gonna make it. We was trying to make alliances. Rainey's was partnering with people because she's like, I don't know if my husband gonna make it. His brother tried to take over, and Damon had to off with his head. And so now we see him, honey, walking with a cane and a limp. All right. But the sea snake is back in action. I'm gonna start with you, Ms. D-Ray. What did you think of this whole interaction? Him readying the ships. You think the sea snake is 100%? What you think's going on?
I definitely don't think he 100%. And I thought that this interaction was very weird energy. I can't put my finger on it yet. Because why is he, not why is he important? Because we know he saved the sea snake, but what is it about him other than I'm indebted to you for saving my life? Is the sea snake looking so bothered for? I don't know. This whole interaction was really weird. It was some kind of energy between them, and I don't know what kind of tension it was, but it's like he wanted to say something, he knew something. I don't know. Something's going to happen. I just can't put my finger on it.
I agree. And what trigger, I won't say triggered, but activated. Okay, that's what my therapist says. She'd be like, say activated. Don't use the word triggered. But she said, but when he was talking about, I'm sorry that you're losing the person who was in line, right? Because we know Luke, his fake grandchild, who wasn't really his his grandchild, was supposed to take over Driftmark. And so when he mentions that, I noticed the shift, and I was like, "Are y'all kin? Like, is that your daddy, your uncle? Like, because he's not noble, clearly." Oh, but I'm thinking, was the snake out here tipping and dipping? Was his brother? Like, what? That's what came to me. But Kay, what you think? What you think about this interaction?
I don't know. I was trying to do some digging to figure out who he was, but for the whoever read the book of what is it, the Dance of Dragons or whatever this book is called, they said he's going to be important later. So he's definitely not a nobody. Remember who he is, because he's going to have a good he's going to play a good role later on in the season. So I'm actually really anxious to see what he brings to the table.
Me too. And I'm here for all of the chocolate in the House of the Dragon. Listen, I'm never going to be mad at it. The Equalizer says, y'all have me confused with the good guys and the bad guys. You want to help the Equalizer out, Kay, and let them know that there are no good?
Okay, all of them bad. Honestly, all of them. This is one big Targaryen family. They are all related, okay? This family was built off of incest. That's why they all crazy, okay? Their bloodline has not been mixed a whole lot. It's just, uncle, sister's brother, Helena, ain't she married to Aegon, who was her brother?
Her whole brother. Full brother.
Her whole brother, Daemon, and then married his niece. And, this is just how the Targaryens are. And so basically the family... Yes, the family is split into two. So, none of them are really that good. But I'm going to roll with Rhaenyra anyway.
Period. We're going to roll with. I'm going to stick beside her, even though I know all hell is about to break loose with my good sis. And Miss D-Ray, we're going to start with you because, listen, Helena was the first on my list because my good sis said, I tried to warn y'all, don't be worried about them. Be worried about them rats. Be worried about these mice. And I was like, my sis, I knew it instantly.
I knew something was going to come of that, but I was on the wrong path. When she said, I'm scared of these mice, I was thinking she was talking about Larys because, in season 1, they kept using the mice as symbolism every time he did something. So I was like, and then right after that scene, it was him in the hallway talking to Allison. So I was like, oh, something happened with Larys. He finna pop off, and Helena know it. But then in the end, she warned y'all, get rid of these rats, because then them folks ain't gonna have a reason to come in here talking about they getting the mice. And then that's gonna, not lead to the events. However, I don't know if it's because she knows what would have happened if she had not let it go down the way it went down with the Heir. I don't know what that was about. Because baby didn't scream, she didn't holler, she didn't try to protect. She just said right there, that one. There you go.
Somebody was in the comments saying that, and I just wanted to, because here's the thing, she's on a spectrum. Like, she is not tied tight. She's not really, I don't think, even in our current land of understanding. And so I was like, I didn't expect her to have a normal response. I didn't expect her really to be quick on her feet. Like, I know she loves her babies as much as she can, but you can tell something's not clicking, Steven. You know what I'm saying? In her head. And I hope we get to explore that more because she was just brushed over last season. This is our real
Right.
first introduction to her, really. Kay, what do you think? What did you think about Helena, and what did you think about her response in the midst of all of this chaos?
You know, they never really listened to her because they all assume she's crazy. But I mean, look at her. The series was, you know, with one foot in the grave, still out here trying to make babies. Like, what you doing? Like, what? I mean, did y'all really expect the children to like turn out and really be something? He was just not. He was barely there. He was barely there. But and so she is vastly ignored for her to have a lot of knowledge about what's going on. She might not can articulate it in the way that people understand it, but she sees a lot. And number one, I don't know why they ignoring the rat problem. First of all,
because it's a castle in the back of the gap. There's rats everywhere anyway.
They need to be doing something about that. But I really feel like she did, because on one hand, I thought that Helena was about to be gone because I almost thought she was about to throw herself over that child and like, you know, before you even get to him, you're gonna have to go through me first. But when she was literally like, no questions asked, that's the one, y'all do what y'all need to do, I'm gonna go ahead and grab this one. This might be a canon event. It's like maybe that had to happen for whatever else is about to happen next to take place. And maybe she knew that.
Okay, definitely. I think, yeah, her response was really interesting, but then I was like, yeah, I just have to think. I'm like, I know something ain't all the way right with her. So I wasn't expecting her to do what the normal mother would do. And it could have saved her life in that moment as well. But like the one I was saying, are we sure she's telling us it's the right baby? Because they look identical. And the one guy was like, yeah, she's telling us the right thing. And I'm like, well, how you know, brother? How you know?
It was the look. It was the look.
Because he probably knows she don't tell no lies. Like if she's saying something, you better listen.
Yeah. See, the Superior says, what happened to the Targaryens by the time Game of Thrones happened? Were they killed off because there were hardly any black folks in Game of Thrones? Oh, you're talking about the Valerians. Yeah, it seems like their line died out. And if we're looking at just what we've seen up to this point, they're virtually done anyway. Laenor, he ain't gonna be with no woman. He ain't gonna have no child at all. And Laena's two daughters are gonna marry. I don't know who the youngest will marry now since Luke is gone, but if it goes according to plan, Baela will marry Jacaerys, and then their babies will be Targaryens. So it's virtually ended now, unless the sea snake were to go out and.
Oh yeah, and remember that's what Corlys was worried about. The Valerian name being erased when they married within the Targaryens. So being that the Valerians started marrying within the Targaryens, that kind of erased their bloodline. And then with this battle, and then the one with the Mad King pretty much killed off all the Targaryens. And then what was it? Daenerys was like the last one left. So yeah, they pretty much.
That's that deep inbreeding for hundreds of years. They all would snap. That's what even Daenerys. We know Dany started to snap. It was like, girl, who are you anymore?
That hurt my feelings too.
Yeah,
it really did.
That madness, it creeped on up, honey. Now, this sent me. If I can be honest with y'all, the way he was down there licking that kitty cat for what seemed to be an hour. Look, Miss Dewey had to take a sip on it because listen, it was disgusting. I said, as much as you slut shamed Rhaenyra,
your friend,
listen, and you gonna get this, you gonna sit on the same one, sis? Like,
Kay, I'm gonna seconds.
Go ahead, Kay. Tell us how you feel about it. What?
I can't. She couldn't wait. But Viserys ain't even cold in the grave yet, okay? His body ain't even cold yet. And there you go on Rhaenyra's sloppy seconds. You know what? I don't even like Sir Krispy Kreme anyway. I don't even like him. Why is he still here? Damon needs to just go ahead and do what needs to be done with him and get it over with. Because he's been getting on my nerves ever since Rhaenyra said, you're a commoner and I can't be, like running off with you and stuff. So he had an attitude ever since then.
Acted like his heart was broke. I said, boy, aren't you a whole knight who's seen battle and this is what you're concerned about? Like, she got you turned out like this to where you
supposed to be sleeping with nobody anyway.
And she was in shock. But that's why he was crazy. Because he broke his chest for her. And then you gonna throw me to the world and just say, never mind, homie, I don't really want that like that. That's what was wrong with him. That's why he snapped. He done messed up all his vows for this cat, and then you gonna take it back? Girl, what is we doing?
Listen, she repossessed it. She said, "Go where and give up my claim to the throne." Like that was cute. Like we could keep our little arrangement though. Like I don't know why it got to be different.
She said, "I still, holla at you on the side, but I'm not finna like leave the kingdom and whatnot." Like
that's the way crazy. Do it anyway.
But what you think, Miss D? Right? What you think of this whole interaction and them going to the jungle, honey?
Allison already getting on my nerves with her prowess, because the fact that you let Clubfoot sit up there last season and do what he did, and then you in here cocking these legs open for Krispy Kreme. And like you said, you slut shamed old girl in the first season. Like that was just beyond you. I want you to sit down somewhere, girl, because you was also on that old man who I didn't know how you got up there looking like
the crypt keeper.
He just did his business. I can only see her just laying there. Like, I don't know. Allison get on my nerves. She want to have standards, but she don't.
Right.
And don't, because she's for sale to the highest bidder. Let's be honest about it, sis. You gonna do and sell it to whoever sell your little bootleg medieval foot picks while he pleases himself. Like I was so disgusted by that whole Larry situation. And then seeing him just down there, and it stank real bad because they didn't even, we're not gonna talk about it. But
look at the way those folks were scrubbing her hand in that bathtub.
She said, "Get out.
Her hair's so dirty.
Get out."
She already smelling sleeping next to Viserys all the time. He smelled like rotted flesh.
Oh, Lord. C says they need to give that one man back his goats and feed the dragons with the rats running around the castle. Listen, set them free. It seems like Helena wants the line of succession to end. I don't think she wanted her child to be unalive, but her choice was the heir on purpose. She did say, what if her baby don't want to be king? She did say that to Aegon. Face in the place. Ew. I mean, not so Krispy Kreme, really? Oh my goodness. Yes, Allison, get your life.
Ma'am. See,
because that wasn't the first time situation. She and Sir Kristen been smashing. You're not gonna make me believe anything else as pious as she pretends to be. Monique says, "What about your oath, sir?"
Long gone.
Allison is a grown woman. Ray was 12-year-old hunching on them grown amen. And Allison was right behind her hunching on that.
Oh, the series. What? Exactly.
Lord have mercy.
And I like how Helena didn't even bat her eye when she ran in there while they was getting to that business. She was just like, they didn't kill them. I don't know what y'all was doing, but it just happened.
Lord, and we'll get all into that. Here we go. Now we have a small council meeting, okay? And this is apparently Aegon's first day on the job. He done brought the baby in there, messing with everybody. And I'm like, Aegon, this is not bring your child to work day. You don't even know how to be king. How are we gonna bring the baby in so he can learn to be king? And so also in this moment, it seems like we're starting to see Allison's power waning, right, over her children. Otto's kind of running the meeting. Aegon is deferring to him. I will start with you, Ms. D-Ray. What did you think about this whole situation? What did you think about the small council meeting?
It was like I was in Game of Thrones all over again. All I could see was old boy at the table with his mama at the what you call it? Y'all know who I'm talking about. Joffrey crazy behind, and his mama trying to tell him what to do, and he not listening. It was that all over again, or the prequel to that, really, because I gotta remember this was first. But that boy crazy. He not right. And so you was really finna make that man give your child a piggyback ride in the middle of this meeting, like y'all ain't got nothing to carry on about. I was glad she checked him in that moment, but you could tell he was just like, all right, girl, just because I'm tired of you talking to me. Not because he respected her, but okay, I guess we'll do something else. But
Because Allison used to stay cussing out her kids. She cussed him out on the regular, right? Back in the day. So
Yeah.
he's like, I'm king now. I ain't gotta listen to you. Or I'm gonna listen to you,
Still
like you
turned
said.
into a little deviant.
Shut up. Okay. What'd you think about Honey, the first small council meeting?
He a puppet and he don't even know it. He don't know nothing about politics. He don't know how to plan no wars, no battles. I'm pretty damn sure he can't fight. I'm pretty sure he can't fight. And Aemon is gonna have to fight all his battles for him. Okay. He don't no, he ain't built for this. And so he's just sitting there being a puppet for Alicent and her old dusty ass daddy.
Otto. Mm, mm, mm. And there you go, trying to run everything
You
with his
know
bootleg
what?
stuff. We see Aegon. He brings the frat bros, Honey. You know, they making up stuff if they're introducing them. They said Aegon the magnanimous. He said, I don't know what magnanimous means. They don't know.
Well,
Right.
see, they trying to make he can't do the Targaryen introduction like everybody else. Not with this little raggedy boy. He ain't got no good introduction. Although you don't even know how to write it right. You don't even know how to introduce him the way that you're supposed to. Boy.
But I agree with you. Between Otto and Larys and his mama, Allison, right? Aegon is not going to have any autonomy um, with anything at this point. What did y'all think? And I'll start with the UK. What did you think of Larys's approach and the words, the kind of little seed he sowed in his ear, talking about, I wouldn't want to be like your daddy. I will, maybe, he got the same hand. You sure? You sure you want your granddaddy to be the hand again? What'd you think of that, Kay?
That ain't number Littlefinger the first. Like I'm gonna whisper a little something in your ear and bend you to my will and see if you come back to it later on. I'm gonna just be like, I'm gonna throw a little something out there and I'm gonna revisit it when you start to look around. Place a little doubt in there and come back around like I told you so. So do you need my help?
Right.
Like you ain't slick worth a damn. Mm-mm.
I said the same thing about Larys. I said I think he is the worst of Littlefinger and the Spider all put together. He's just kind of creepier, right? Ms. D-Ray, what do you think about Aegon overall? What do you think about his first presiding over court? So, he's there and the man's appealing to him about the goats, the resources, and, what do you think about that?
In that moment, I felt a little tinge of, oh, he got a little bit of heart because he wanted to do right by them people. And then also with the builders, and they said, "Hey, we need our money first. We can't buy this stuff." And he was like, "Okay, yeah, you'll get our money because we need you." He tried to appeal to the people, and for a hot second, I was like, oh, "Okay, he got maybe a little bit of sense. He's trying." But then he got in there, like she said, with his frat boy homeboys, talking that nonsense later on, while the folks just tipping past you, and I was like, "Never mind." But as I look at these slides, y'all, he looking a lot like Viserys right here. And I'm thinking that the lore of the throne is real. The throne is already taking him out because he weak. That's what they say.
They
They
do.
say
They
that the
kill you.
throne will kill you by a million small cuts. Oh, buddy, before him or after him, he died on a sword on the throne because the throne takes you out if you weak. And the way he looking now, that's what it is. The throne
He didn't
already.
he didn't even carry out no kind of orders yet. Ain't did nothing.
The throne said, "Get this baby weakness off of me."
Get him out of there. Get him out of there. Yeah, and we kind of talked about Larys and all. He's got great potential, though. I will say, in terms of Larys and his character, he'll have to get a little bit darker. I'll need him to be a little bit more menacing. I'll need him to be a little bit more. I mean, not that he's not already, because he done took all the staff, honey, and unalived them.
And his family last season. It was just his whole family.
He is horrible.
His daddy, that was the hand, you guys, was the old hand, and he took him out. And Rhaenyra's kids, daddy, the strong.
Oh yeah, the strong. I like the strong.
But any other thoughts about it? So y'all think he's bad enough already? He don't need no more character development.
He done already did enough.
Because he gonna be the manipulator. He can't do nothing but tip around because he got to drag that foot behind him. So he can't be too vicious. So he got to use his intelligence and his manipulation because he can't fight.
He can't beat nobody up. Now, do you
No,
think that he is going to vie to be Hand of the King himself? Is
no.
that what he's trying to position? Or okay.
I told you
Okay.
that's Lord Baelish the first.
Lord have mercy. First of his name. This raggedy heifer. And I can say that today.
She just want people to just think that she's just filled with all kind of morals and principles, and that she is just a believer of the word and of the realm. And behind closed doors, here you go with Krispy Kreme.
Listen, busting it wide open,
Krispy Kreme.
laying it low and spreading it wide with her little kitten heels on. I'm so disgusted by Allison because it's not so much what she's doing, because we done seen worse. You know what I mean? In this universe, we've seen much worse. However, it's the piety. It's that fake piety, and that, oh, I light my candles to the 7 every night. I'm always praying on the altar. I'm always doing the right thing. I care about Rhaenyra. That was my friend. I love you, Rhaenyra, even though I was ready to cut you up. Right.
Right.
Even though I know my son is not supposed to be king, I'm going to do all this, and then I'm going to hide behind it. Like, oh, I didn't mean for that to happen. I didn't mean for that to happen. Ms. D-Ray, I'm going to start with you. Overall, as a character, what do you think about Allison in her role, especially in this first episode? What were your thoughts on Miss Allison?
I'm sick of her already. I don't know no other way to put it, because she hasn't changed. Season 1, like you said, she's still the, I'm right, I do the things the correct way, and then you creep around here with Krispy Kreme, because he can't get no other name now. You got Larry over here pleasuring himself while you looking shameful. I just don't understand. I feel like she got real live daddy issues. Because your daddy pushed you off on Viserys, and then the man died, and now you in the midst of all this stuff that's going on. And deep down, I think she's scared, because she keeps saying Rhaenyra's gonna be upset about her son. Rhaenyra's going to want vengeance by her son. This dragon battle can't happen because it won't end. It's gonna be bloodshed. Like, I think she was like scared, and she knows it's out of her hands.
It's above us now.
She ain't got that gangster in her like Rhaenyra does.
No, and I love the dichotomy, right? Because on paper, you would look at Rhaenyra and probably be like, "Oh, Allison's the good one, and Rhaenyra is the bad one." But Rhaenyra, up until this point, has been fully in control of her emotions. No move that she has been out of vindictiveness, even with all of the tomfoolery before, where we saw she said, "You know what? I'm just gonna go to Dragonstone." Okay, but Allison, on the other hand, she's been proven to fight dirty. But Kay, what about you? What are your thoughts on Allison?
You know, she crossed the line with me that episode last season when Rhaenyra was just fresh off of giving birth, walking down the hall bleeding, and she's like, "Let me see the baby. Let me bring him here." And she got to walk herself all the way down there, dripping with Krispy Kreme leading the way, to show her this baby, just so that she could poke fun at her in her face. Like, I know this ain't Laenor's baby. I just want everybody in here to know that this is a strong boy, while Viserys still sitting over there in denial, lying.
Viserys said, "I don't see nothing. I that's my baby. I don't know. She can do no wrong."
When she made her do that, I said, "Oh no, they ain't never gonna be friends again after this."
Oh, no.
That's it. That's it. I was like, anything I have for Allison was gone after that.
You want to be my stepmama so bad.
Same. I feel that it was just disingenuous, because now I feel like, were you ever really her friend ever? I don't think so. But listen, now we're for Rhaenyra, and Rhaenyra is my girl and a bag of pearls. Do you hear me? And not because I like her strength of character, what we've seen up until this point, as far as it relates to the bloodline, not her infidelity and all that. We know that wasn't really no real marriage anyway. like Rhaenyra, I like how Rhaenyra carries herself. She's like, I'm not, revolving my life around a man. Like, I'm going to be queen. I'm going to take all the steps necessary to get to that point. But if I can be honest with you, between the finale of the first season and this opening episode, my heart broke for Rhaenyra. We talk about she done found out her daddy gone. She miscarried her baby. Found out she done lost her other son, and she done lost the throne, all in the matter of like a day. Like, how are you even coping and functioning? Miss D-Ray, I'm gonna start with you. What do you think about Rhaenyra and her present situation and how she's handling everything?
I totally agree with you about her strength of character, because what we do know about her is all of her moves are genuine. She's had these same desires from childhood. She's always been, I'm going to be the queen. I don't have to do about what these men telling me to do. So everything she's done up to this point has been genuine, but she is tired. They visibly showed you she is tired. She has been beat down emotionally, but all I can say is that is going to build into the fierceness that she's going to give us for the rest of the season, because it's going to motivate her, it's going to push her. And I feel like that's a Targaryen thing, of course, right before they snap, unfortunately, but it'll make for good entertainment.
Baby, yes. I said, y'all thought y'all saw something before. I said, oh, Rhaenyra is going to go DEFCON, whatever the number is. Do you hear me? I think nothing's off limits at this point. Kay, what are your thoughts on where Rhaenyra is at, and what does it look like for the future for her?
I'm glad she didn't make no moves until she got what she was looking for, and she just needed proof that her baby was gone, and that he left in the way that everybody said he was. Because she's like, I know y'all said he passed or whatever. He was taken out of the sky, but I need to know before I do anything. And as soon as she found that proof, when she did that long walk down that hall, she ain't say nothing to nobody. She ain't look at nobody. They introducing her, how the Targaryens do, and she already had him in mind what her first move was. Like, she was meticulous in that matter. Like, I ain't gonna make no moves until I got the proof that I needed, and now I know what's next.
Listen, when she was like, F all that, bring me Aemon's head, and we'll get to that slide. I think I got that slide. I was like, period. Like, what's next?
Hand it to me.
Mm-hmm.
But rest in peace to Lucerys, because that was heartbreaking. And when Jacaerys came home, because he had gotten the news as he was leaving the wall, that broke me down like a fraction. I can't front. Miss D-Ray, were you emotional too?
I was, and he was trying to be like the OG, all about business. Like, let me come in here and give my report to you for what you sent me out here to do. And she was like, "Come on, baby, it's okay. I feel it. Let the tears flow, because we know what happened." And I was really sad about Luke, because them boys was trying to prove themselves, and he didn't even get the opportunity. Like, he set out on a mission and they come back.
Mm-hmm.
But I do, and Kay, you could answer this too, but what did you think? Because I felt a way that you sent that baby alone on Dragonback anyway as an envoy, because I'm like, okay, I get it. They're supposed to be, whatever, but this is a volatile time, and it's just like Aemon to be someplace he's not supposed to be. Kay, what did you think of that?
I mean, I guess she was thinking, because she said that, he had one mission. She said, we ain't there to fight. You just there to deliver a word, and you're going to be on the dragon. And most people ain't going to mess with you with your dragon. Most people. I'm pretty sure she didn't think her little one-eyed nephew was going to pop in there. Okay? With the dragon that he stole, first of all.
Exactly.
Right. Never belonged to you.
That what he wasn't even supposed to have. And see, he playing around. See, he didn't think Vhagar was going to do what Vhagar know to do. So he's just like, we're going to play around and intimidate. We're going to intimidate him. But Vhagar said, once you say the word, it's up.
Vhagar said, this little dragon poofing at me. I don't play them types of games. I said, Vhagar is a war dragon. Like, you can't play Aemon.
I'm not the biggest thing in the sky for nothing.
And that was Amy's fault for playing around. Look, Luke did his job. He said, I delivered the word, and all I was going to do was go back. That was Amy for trying to play around, trying to intimidate somebody, and didn't know that he was, the dragon showed him what he was capable of. You don't play around with Vagar.
No. Play around with an ancient dragon. And here we go. My good sis said, listen, bring me his head. I said, this is like the Red Queen. Bring me his head. Off with his head. And I was like, yeah. And so we know Damon says, say less. Like, that's all I was waiting on.
I want to do that anyway.
Damon said, we ride at dawn.
He already had the plan anyway. He just needed Rhaenyra just to come on back and say something. The plan was already set, and that's why he left so quickly. He already had the plan.
Yeah. He already knew what it was. And so we see him traverse over, seas, lands, whatever, back to the keep, because we know he used to be commander of the Night's Watch. And so he's still got some people on deck and some people on payroll, and he's making a deal. But what do you think about his approach during this entire episode? We got him being very callous, right? Because we know Daemon has a one-track mind. And while he can be loyal, Daemon thinks what he does is always right. No one else thinks but him, I think, in his mind. I know the best way. This is my plan. And right now, Rhaenyra is being a weak mother. She's being weak. She's being a mother. She's not being a queen. So I need to step in. Miss D-Ray, what you think about Daemon in general? And then what you think about him in this episode?
In general, like I said, he's a character I love to hate. Because he ticked me off in season 1 when you tried to get your niece up off in that brothel. That was disgusting, sir. But have to put it back in perspective. This is the show. This is the nature of the family. But in this episode, I think we also saw like he trying to be the OG. I'm that one, but we also got some vulnerability from him when he felt betrayed by old girl from season 1. What's her name? My
White Worm. Mysteria.
Yeah, pretty much. Mysteria. Yeah. That conversation, I felt like he was desperate. He was almost pleading. Like he was trying to play big bad. I'm gonna put you in the jail. I'm gonna take you out. But at the end of the day, he was desperate. And so we saw a little bit of vulnerability from him that made me be like, oh, he's still trying to do what he think he supposed to do. I guess. But I love to hate him. I love to hate him. He is the villain that we need, but you can't root for him too loud.
Okay, Kay. And what you think? And what you think when he choked our good sis out? What was your well, virtually choked her out. What you thinking? Because I've seen a softer side of Daemon, and probably only in relation to Lena. I do felt like he really loved Lena in the way that he knew, you know what I mean, how to love. And maybe his oldest daughter too, because it seemed like he did spend a lot of time with Bela back then. But you're right. This is kind of, we're starting to see the facade crack a little bit for him. But yeah, Kay. What you think about Daemon and the choke situation? Because we got to talk about it.
I mean, he did kind of take out his wives before Elena. She was the only one that survived him. She went out because of childbirth, but he was good with her. He actually liked her, but we do know that he's capable of saying like, look, if I don't want to be married no more,
you gotta go.
I can make it happen.
King, absolutely.
And you got to keep one eye on him, because he's like, Rhaenyra, you got this little crown or whatever, but it can be mine.
Right. I was heir first. I was the rightful heir initially. Let's not forget. Until he talked about the baby who died and said it was the king that never would that. What did he say?
Heir for a day. Oh my gosh, that was so shady. Heir for a day.
He's very petty, and he makes sure that we know it every now and then.
Oh my goodness.
And Otto was more petty for telling it though.
Because why you need to repeat that, Otto? You got to repeat everything you hear. He said the king out there, or the heir is out there in brothels. The prince talking about an heir for a day. What did you say that, Damon? I said it. And hey, white worm girl. And we know that this was one of his paramours from before, right? He said he was going to marry her when he stole the dragon eggs and did all that stuff and lied and said she was pregnant with his baby and all that stuff. But now she's back. And we know that she is also the one who delivered the hand Aegon, right? Because Aegon was in the little under the keep or something. It was so weird where they pulled him out from where they light all the candles. And she like, he's like, how long you been working for Otto? She says, as long as he been paying me, as long as that money's green, right? As long as the gold is heavy, that's how much I've been working. And I'll continue to. I don't know if you guys want to touch, but either one of you, if you want to talk about White Worm or Massaria at all, just in respect to her character.
I mean, I like that it's always somebody that's working underground that got the tea. Okay. It's always somebody. Like what's his name from Game of Thrones? The
Spider.
The one that had the children.
The spider.
Mm-hmm. It's somebody that always got their ear to the streets. And so that's her.
I liked before because remember she had them promise that they would get the kids out of the pleasure markets or whatever and out of the fighting. I don't know if that ever happened, but it did seem as though she was a freedom fighter, at least for the kiddos. So now, Miss D, right, because you did mention her before, I will say this. Do you still think Damon has a soft spot in his heart for her? Like, do you think?
I do, because he genuinely was like, you betrayed me. Like, you can tell he was hurt because this what you doing? You working for Hightower? Like, I feel like he was a little bit salty.
Yeah, that's my enemy. That's treason. Treasonous. Well, Damon, we know if you really felt like it was treason, she'd be
what you really would have done, right?
Up on somebody's whatever. Okay, let's talk about Aemon now. Aemon done caused this mess, okay, this current mess, because we know that from what it sounded like, everyone was pissed off about everything that was going on, right? But they were going to take their time. They were going to build up allegiances, see whose houses they could get to pledge fealty, to obeisance, right? All those things. But then with his move and taking Luke out, Allison, everybody knows that it's now war. So now we have Aemond and Sir Krispy Kreme, right? And they plotting. Like, we just need to get away. You and me, we can, let's get the king away from the influence. You know what I mean? Let's talk to him one-on-one and we can do our big one. But again, I like Aemond. And I think I like it because with all said and done, Aemon lives a pretty clean life. He's laser focused, right? But he's brutal too. I know. But there's something about him. I like him. And I think it's because he stands on business. He means what he says. He says what he means. I mean, except for with Luke. He ain't mean to take the baby out. But he's a nuanced character. I'll start with UK. What you think about Aemond? What you think about him popping in on the small council meeting at the behest of his brother? What you think?
Because he know his brother is dumb as hell. Okay, everybody is just using Aegon as just a puppet. He's like, I know my brother dumb. He be out here in these streets wilding out. I know all the rumors about him. He can't fight. Okay, he's just off his rocker. So he's like, let me chill in the cut because I already know he might not last as the king. So if he don't, it's gonna be my turn. So I got to be ready. Aemon is like, if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. So I'm going to go ahead and stay ready.
Yeah. And I mean, we saw the determination as a kid because he was a little weird, mealy mouth kid, right? He couldn't fight, couldn't do anything. And he trained every day. He got proficient. Then he got great, at the skill as far as being, a swordsman, all that stuff. Miss D-Ray, what'd you think about Aemon and what'd you think about that little plot?
So that little plot is annoying only because Krispy Kreme, you over here plotting and scheming with Aemon, but then you finna go on here with Allison and then pillow talk with her, and it's gonna be a whole nother conversation. Mm-hmm. So I don't like how he playing the sides and doing what he want to do, because so you don't really have that much power. But in terms of Aemon, I don't hate him. I feel like he's still a little bit childish because, sir, all you really mad about is your eye. That beef in the Baratheon's castle was not by nothing but your eye.
That was
you mad that boy still got an eye and you got a little silver sapphire. I mean, a blue sapphire, whatever you got up there. Which that was quite gangster.
You
It
know,
looks
that
kind of
ain't even
dope.
that bad. You know,
Yeah,
it's
I
not
think
that
it's
bad.
kind of dope. I can't front the scar, the eyes. Like, oh, okay.
It's good. Oh, like how they did that there. That ain't nothing I've seen before. But he okay with me for now. Cause he means well, like you said. He came from the bottom and now he here. So
And he honestly ain't mean to. He ain't mean to take Luke out. He really didn't. He was playing too much. Is what he was doing. He like Kay said, he was antagonizing, trying to intimidate that baby, and it just went left. Now they say in the book this duo is blood and cheese. I'm calling them Dumb and Dumber because in what world do you get instructions to take out a specific person and then you say anyone will do? Any child will do. Any child with silver hair in the castle will do. Right? Like, so these are the two people that Damon enlists, right, to take out Aemond. Now, Damon is very specific. Take out Aemond, but be careful because he's good with a blade. So it might take, a little bit of work to take him out. Not y'all coming up on Helena's room and saying, listen, there's two silver hair babies here.
he's
One
the
of them is
one.
somebody. I'm gonna start with you, Kay. What you think about Blood and Cheese, aka Dumb and Dumber?
On one hand, I'm like, I wonder what Damon is gonna do when he finds out what they did. But they did ask, if we don't find Aemon, what do you want us to do instead? And I don't think we got an answer. So I don't know if that was the backup plan. At this point, I don't know.
It did pan away, right? And Damon looked like he was about to say something, but we didn't get the finishing part of that. Okay, you're right, Miss D. Ray. What say you?
He did ask where was the heir. He said the right words.
Mm.
But we talking to Helena. So then that one or the one that stole the throne, like
Because who
I
cared
feel
at this
like
point?
right. I feel like y'all should have known that the toddler sized child was not the one you needed. But there weren't pictures floating around back in the day so you could know what the king looked like. So I'm just gonna say that they were stupid. And I mean it still may play in the black's favor, because she still got a son for a son. It just wasn't the son you went for.
I don't think I've seen this since The Wall, right? In Game of Thrones, because he didn't care who he took out. Well, and Jamie at first, but then Jamie got better. I mean, as far as trying to take out kids, right? And the guy they hire after that to try to take out Bran, but yeah, Dumb and Dumber just sent me, and everyone was in the comments like, listen, it's worse in the book. I wish they would have gone more into detail. Listen, if it was worse than hearing them saw sounds, I don't want it. Like, keep it, because I didn't. And so again, we got to that scene. Helena's there. They ask her which one is the heir, and she gives them the heir. She gives them the right one. Again, not responding the way we think a normal mom would respond, but Helena's different, right? And so baby boy is gone, and Helena goes running into her mama room. And what I said was, you couldn't stop riding it for one night.
No ma'am.
And what was that at the beginning? The beginning of the story, we can't do this anymore. This is the last
she
time.
did
We're not
say
gonna
that.
Riding it like the rodeo show, like a bull. I said, that's what we're doing, Allison. And Helena comes in. I think one of you ladies mentioned it, like she's seen it before, because she didn't flinch. She got her baby in the corner. He's gone, mama. And look at Allison, the hooker, in her sheet, wrapped up, a bed of ill repute. I'm gonna start with you, Miss D. Ray. What did you think of this?
Krispy Kreme didn't move fast enough for me.
He did.
I feel like she came in the room and y'all kept going for about another 30 seconds before you realized, wait a minute, is that my child? Like, I
was trying to finish up real quick. He was like, let's wrap it up.
And then Allison was all wrapped up, and he just rolling over like, God, oh, like he was mad you interrupted. Like, I don't know. I just shame.
I know.
Shame.
Shame.
Ding.
Shame.
I don't know.
And just look at it. What you gonna do if you get pregnant by somebody that's supposed to be celibate?
Exactly.
What you gonna do, Allison? I hope she got some tea on deck at this point.
Right.
Well, she got her
Somebody
moon night
snitch on
tea or
you.
whatever, moonstone tea, whatever it was, y'all. But yeah, Allison, you just low down. And she wrote that thing like she done wrote it before. That's why I know they was carrying on and they just didn't
Been
make us.
We
carrying
we
on.
can't do this no more. And then now y'all all in the bed like he was gonna stay tonight.
Listen, just
Right.
raggedy. It's a raggedy situation. That's all I can say, ladies. But overall thoughts, I'm gonna start with you, Kay. What did you think overall of our premiere, and what are your thoughts or predictions for next episode? What'd you think?
I want to know the reaction of Rhaenyra and Damon when Dumb and Dumber didn't actually get the one that she had requested, because there's going to be some consequences and repercussions that's going to come with this. Okay, now Allison about to act all ridiculous and stuff. Oh my God, they done took the grandbaby. Now Aegon and his little remedial looking self gonna start acting. Oh, they took my son, and you got a lot of sons out there. Okay, to be honest,
A gaggle of them.
you got a lot. So everybody's about to overreact and act like they really cared about the baby and whatnot. Helene didn't even care about him that much. Okay, she just let him take him. So everybody's about to overreact about the little boy, and Rhaenyra is now going to have to go on defense, because she's probably going to be like, that's not the son that I had requested. Now we got to do something. Okay, let's gear up these dragons, which is what Damon wanted. He probably would have rather had that, because Aemon would have been the correct son for a son, and Allison wouldn't have been able to say nothing. But now that they done went a little, they done went left. I think this is what Damon wants.
I do too. I think he played into his hand for sure. For sure. Miss D-Ray, what you think? What you think about episode 2?
I am eager to see them pull out these dragons at this point, because
dragons,
per the count, historically, I think it's like 12-4 or something like that in numbers, in terms of the Black got more dragons. But also, like you said, we done killed the wrong baby. And so Allison just got through praying for your child. Now you done came and took this grandbaby. It's finna be something. So I have high hopes for the season. Episode 2, I'm hoping that we jump right on into how they gonna get this head. Where are we going? Because that's the part I want to see. I'm sorry. I want to see how we're going to present this head. Is it going to be in a box? Is it going to bring it on a stake? They're going to put it in the yard like they did the Starks. Like, what are we doing with this head? Because it's a toddler.
Yeah. Or if they'll send it like they sent Theon's package to his daddy. Remember, they wrapped it up.
So how's we going to, that shouldn't be my concern, but that's what I'm
how will the news be delivered?
Yeah.
Man, will it be like the Dothraki? You know what I'm saying? Like, will they just have them tied all together? And
also make the flow. Y'all gonna show up? It's gonna be on top of the throne on one of the swords. Like, what is we doing?
Because and Allison's prayers, as far as her prayers, she ain't got no power. Allison ain't got no power.
The gods stop listening to her.
My mama said, "Don't pray for me if you don't know me like that."
No. She don't need to pray. As far as for me, I want to see the full vengeance of Rhaenyra released. I think that she and Daemon's alliance union is not going to last the entire season. I think their interests are divided at this point. I think maybe not their interests, but the mechanisms by which they want to accomplish this mission are too far apart. And he's going to undermine her at every turn if she keeps him on the
Definitely.
team. This is already going to mess up the plan because she said, listen, I wanted Amon's, and that would have been almost justified. They'd have been mad about it,
Exactly.
but
That's what I was thinking.
it would have been equal retribution, right? Now that
Mm-hmm.
you done went there, you done went low. So now,
Mm-hmm.
and remember that she and Damon have 2 kids that made it, right? 2 or 3, young Aegon, who the king was really talking about, and that other baby. And so if the babies are on the table now, what's that gonna look like?
Right.
I'm just here for the fierceness. I want to see Rhaenyra stand all the way up in her big girl panties. I also want to see how Rhaenys is gonna play into this, because I think although when Rhaenyra was younger, she rejected a lot of Rhaenys's sage advice, because Rhaenys was like, "I've been here, sis. Like, I know what's
Right.
about to happen. They ain't gonna let you be queen." And so
Right.
now that we're at this point, and Rhaenys has kind of been there, with her through this, I hope that she looks to her as a trusted advisor to get through it, y'all. But I am excited, and I'm about to drop down, and I'm going to give the Horror and Hooch podcast the floor. Ladies, let the people know what y'all got going on and what they can expect from you. And y'all go subscribe now. Hit the like button, subscribe, do all the things if you hear it.
Yes, hit that subscribe button. We are also on Spotify. So go ahead and like us on Spotify, add us to your Spotify playlist. We have the Facebook group that we're in daily. So go ahead and if you're on Facebook, come on over to our Horror and Hooch Facebook group. We have a lot of fun in there. We are on TikTok. We have a lot of fun on TikTok. We do a lot of different things for the different platforms. So you might see some things on TikTok that you're not going to see on Facebook, or you might see some things on Facebook that you're not going to see on TikTok or on our YouTube channel. So, we have different things going on our different platforms. Hit that subscribe button at the 5th wall. We are talking with Interview with the Vampire, Evil. We got some things out. We'll be covering From when that comes up. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm ready for From too. But check us out for sure. All of our platforms. I will be on my drink game, so stop in, have a sip with us next time. Stay tuned. Season just started.
Y'all ladies, go and follow them immediately. They are some of the only women in the Black horror space, so please go support, please go follow, especially if horror, comic books, all of that is your vibe. Go check these ladies out. Yes, hit it immediately, y'all. We're trying to get to 1K, right? Is that your next goal?
That's the goal.
1K. But y'all, thank you so much for rocking with us throughout this evening. For everybody who came through,
thank you for hosting, Ashley.
Thanks for having us, for sure. Yeah.
Was it fun? Oh, and I'm gonna put y'all on the spot because I'm gonna be doing this every Monday night. So, I mean, are y'all gonna come back? I mean, are we gonna do this?
I'll come back. We can do this again.
Okay, y'all. So we will be back then next Monday to talk about episode 2, House of the Dragon. Listen, I have such high hopes for this episode, and thank y'all for rocking with us. We appreciate y'all. Have the most amazing evening, and we'll see you tomorrow for Interview with a Vampire.
That's right. Come right on back. Come back.
Good night, guys.
Team Black.